So why didn't it work?
Um,
I mean, it did work,
it
but why
worked.
did it?
Well, the team fell in love with one project,
Okay.
and that project got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So we went from having 8 or 9 clients to having 2 or 3.
Mm,
And as we consistently told new prospects no, we got a reputation that we were hard to work with. And it was well earned. We were hard to
okay.
work with. Not in the sense of once we were hired, we were pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But we just said no a lot more than we said yes. And eventually people stopped asking. At the same time, that really big project went away quickly.
Well, you get done as well eventually.
Yeah. And even though we had like close to 400,000 in the bank, cleared taxes, everything.
Wow.
That was just, we tried to self-incubate some stuff and some other things, but it was just
Mhm.
obvious that it was not going to go again. And yeah, so after a failed attempt to sell what was left, ended up going all in on the bureau.
Yeah. Well, so you spoke today, you talked about some personal reasons, like some stuff that you just kind of like were kind of burned out, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Talk about that a little bit, because I think a lot of people struggle with that if they're trying to build something, you know, what I mean?
Yeah.
They kind of go all in and get burned out.
Well, I firmly believe that while you're trying to create something and build something, you're of one mindset. And when you start trying to protect it, you shift to another mindset and you go into a defensive mode instead of an offensive mode. And so I got to a point where we had the team spanned 8 time zones, and I felt like I could never be asleep.
Yeah, that's good.
We had people in Australia. So for some people, it was tomorrow. On Sundays, people would be at work because it was their Monday. I had people that were 8 hours behind me and 12
Right.
hours ahead of me and all this stuff.
And when they need you, they need you.
Well, and I don't even know that they did, but my brain couldn't let go of the
course.
thought that they did.
Well, you're a responsible person. I mean,
Thank you.
well,
I have a short list of folks I need you to share that with. But no, so it got to this point where I was just like, I am becoming the problem. And you know, it even happens with the bureau today, where a few days ago I found myself, I had made too many commitments. I was overwhelmed. And I basically reached out to the 2 people on my team, Lori and Meredith, and I said, hey, if I've been snippy, I have gotten myself upside down with commitments and I just need a couple of days to get through this. I've learned that communicating is a good call.
Can be.
Letting people know what you're going through. And so for me, it was like, that was the big takeaway from that moment was I don't have to do everything by myself. Everybody doesn't need me all the time. And I look back and I realize we were one of 7 agencies allowed to work with Facebook, and we ended up firing them. We walked away from really lucrative projects because they weren't fun anymore.
Yeah.
And a lot of that sounds like a great rally cry. But I think the big challenge was I put the company and that team in front of my family. I didn't think about long-term what our security looked like. And I don't make that mistake anymore. I make sure that I'm keeping my family front and center. Even though my kids are grown now, I want to make sure that I'm able to, first of all, help if they need it. And secondly, not become a burden as I get older.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah,
for sure.